Welcome back, everybody. This chap's here today. How are you?
Oh, super duper now that I'm not at work. More pleasure time with John.
That should be the name of this video, shouldn't it?
Pleasure time with John.
With John and Kieran. What are we doing today? Tell us.
Well, that old Townmate needs some more strip down to its chunkier pieces, seeing as Lado did all the fine mini bits removal.
That was in the last video, which we'll post a link to just there. Yeah, I did. I took some of the smaller bits and bobs off it. So today we're going to concentrate on the bigger stuff. So that'll be the shaft drive and engine and
legs,
wheels, mudguard,
all the other bits.
Just the rest of the bits and bobs. We are continuing to strip this down, ready for painting and cleaning and all the rest of it.
Rebuildy stuff so that it's nice and tidy and functional.
Yeah, it's a nice sunny day. It's nice and warm. So we're out and about in the garage and in the immediate garage area. So let's get to it. Shall we get to it?
Give it a whirl.
Let's do it! Here we go then. I've got my two helpers, one with a big waggy tail, and Delta is here also. Here's the Townmate, exactly as we left it. All the smaller bits have been removed, so we're going to go at this, we were thinking, in the order of shocks, shaft drive, engine, wheels, mudguard, and steering, stem, forks and all the rest of it down the front there, and then I think that will be it more or less in pieces. So the first step is the shocks. Well, that's the shocks off. We need to have a look at those properly, but they seem a little bit tired, so it might be that they need replacing. And what we're doing now?
Chunkier stuff.
Chunkier stuff. Oh, we're doing the chunky stuff. So we're going to have a look at removing the rear wheel. Right, and we're going to stop saying what we're doing next because we keep changing our mind.
Changing minds.
What are you thinking next then?
It might be the case that we remove the whole as one assembly. So taking this cover off here is maybe what we do next to sort of investigate further options. We may even consult a official manual as we have one to hand.
Oh God, has it come to that?
Just better safe than 17 pieces.
17 chunky bits. Alright, let's have a look at the manual then. Right, well, we have consulted the manual and it would appear that the engine comes out before the swing arm. See, this is why it's advantageous to have a manual sometimes. Not that we ever read them. So it's a 2-bolt job and we're going to have a go at it, and then apparently the engine slides forward off the shaft. So let's just see what happens. Wish us luck.
There she blows. There you go. Monster!
Gar! The engine has been removed. That was actually easier than I thought it would be. How did you find that, sir?
I just looked down and there it was.
With the engine out then, we are now going to remove the rear wheel, and then after that we might have an attempt at that swing arm, which is a job that I'm not really looking forward to. These swing arms on the Townmates are a little bit notorious for getting stuck in, so I have been lubricating that intermittently over the last week or two, so we will hope that that has done some good and see how we get on with the swing arm bolt.
Most of the time when you've given repeated squirts on things, it tends to end up in a very positive result.
Quite a lubricated situation.
Mm.
Well, we'll see how we get on then.
No talks involved. got some length. Seems to be coming in a couple of different components.
As you can see, we have removed the wheel, and that was all fairly straightforward. It's over there. So now we're going to have a go at the dreaded swing arm. Ooh, can you hear the ice cream van? Maybe an ice cream first and then swing arm. Maybe not, we'll see. Right then, Kieran's got his beefcake arms on and a 19mm spanner, and we're going to have a go at the pivot shaft for the swinging arm. Hopefully this will come out without any problem. I think the problem might be with the bushes on the inside, but you know, fingers crossed. Let's see how we get on.
I think that might be, yeah, easy peasy.
Clonk.
You got it.
Right, well, as you can see, the rear wheel has been removed. The swing arm came off without too much drama. I think the issue there that people have is with the bushes for the pivot shaft, and they're in the frame, and I think the bushes rust to the frame, so I'm going to do a little bit more research about that before we attempt anything like that. But in the meantime, we are going to move forward. We're going to take the front wheel off, the mudguard and the forks, so let's get on with that.
Flexi crazy suspension. Nope. This is just useless.
Go on then, I'll help.
More like it.
Weirdly, the front wheel is harder to get off than the swing arm and the engine.
Yeah.
Wheel removal, like professionals.
It's science.
Yeah!
The collapse.
Right, so the front wheel is off, and that went quite well. I've just got to nip out and leave Kira on his own, so I shall be back momentarily. See if you can guess where I've been. And here I am, back again, looking both fresh and crispy. So without further ado, let's crack on. Right, she's still on the floor where we left her, just there. So we're going to attempt to take off the mudguard, and then after that, the fork.
The lad's finally on the floor. Doing some work for a change.
Hey, I'm just the brains of this operation.
It's too true.
Delightful.
At the very least, there's a couple more bolts on the inside here that we need to remove so that we can get these suspension units out. And once these nuts off, this pin just pulls out from the side. So we'll give that a whirl.
Right, with the bolts out that we've just taken out, it should just be a case now of pulling out the suspension jobbers, the leading link suspension jobbers. And there it goes. So there's the first one and the second one. So that's what we've got.
Ooh.
Looking a little bit funky.
That's a smooth, shiny surface if ever I did not see.
Right, okay, more things to clean. Right, disassembling this top bit then. We got the retainy jobber thing that Kieran mentioned there. And then we've got the two bolts holding this plate in, and then the plate itself, and then a rubber thingamajob, and then this should just lift off. Then we've got some little more jobbers. There's a lot of jobbers on this bike. Another rubber thing,
More rubber.
and then I think we're going to have to undo this here to get all of this off, so we'll do that now. Well, moving on. We've got this little contraption here. This is on the near side, and then this little contraption here, which was on the off side. So hopefully that means I can now remove that. Yes. And then we're just left with the conventional lock nut and all the rest of it, as per any other bike really. So we shall take those off now. It's just a case of unwinding, unwinding, unwinding. Lots and lots of unwinding. They shouldn't be on particularly tight. Just many, many turns. So there we are, that one's now released, which means we can move the little dust cap thing there, and then there should be the top race, and then a lot of loose ball bearings. So I think we shall make sure that we get all of those.
Nifty tip from the garage. John used a magnet to pick up his balls.
Release the balls.
Don't release them just yet. Nifty trick.
9, 10, 11.
How many
12,
balls do you have, people?
13.
Comments below.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 22 balls. We have 22 balls. So with all of those out of the top, it should now be a case of being able to pull the forks free from the bottom. So I'll lift this and you lift that. Bear in mind though, you might find a lot of ball bearings down there.
Looks like most of them have stayed on the bottom. No.
Yeah, okay, so we've got all of those. So there we are, those are the ball bearings.
I'm sure you can see from over there. Dog in the way.
Yeah, so we're going to count those and see what we've got. We've just been having a look at the bearing surfaces, which you can't see right now, but if I do this you can. And they don't look too bad, they're not terrible, and they feel okay, although you can actually see a little bit of discoloration, but when you run your fingernail around it, they just seem alright. So I think we'll make a decision on that at a later date, and move on to the centre stand. That seems to be the last thing really attached to this. So
that sort of remarkable look now, we might have to take a wider shot, but there is that kind of turkey look about it.
The turkey. We have created a turkey.
Or a bit of grunt. Yeah, it's probably just a bit of grunt.
Just pull it out like a boss. Right, so that should come off now. Pardon. At this point, I have a question for all you Townmate people out there. I've just been having a look down at the bushes here, which we looked at earlier, and they're looking pretty chewed up. This one is the better of the two, the other one slightly worse. So let me just nip round and show you that one. There we are then, that's that one in the light, and as you can see it's looking a bit funky. So I'm debating having a go at removing them. I think they can be replaced. I think the parts are still available. If anybody knows any cheap sources of these bushes, please let me know. But my question to you guys is, do I leave those in? Are they that bad? I don't know. There doesn't seem to be any play, although they look awful. And I know they can be a bit of a pain to get out. So what would you guys do? Let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to make the most of the sunshine and take this outside and clean it.
What have you found, Delta? What is it? Nestled in amongst the undergrowth, this rosy little red peacock, in its natural habitat, amongst the leaves, basking in the evening sun.
So that is the end of our video. We figured that you don't need to see us cleaning a bike because you can probably clean a bike already. And that is the Townmate stripped down. So now the real work starts with all the cleaning and all the prepping and all the painting and all the checking and the buying and the refurbing and all the rest of it. So
And all the torque settings. So many torque settings.
So many torque settings to inquire about. Right, so we shall leave it there and we shall say goodbye for now. And we will see you in our next video. Goodbye.
Don't forget, Facebook, subscribe, stickers, all of that thing. Get involved. be a part of this monumental expedition of acknowledgement and knowledge and all things good.